And welcome, everybody. It is time for the Walt Disney World, or the WDW Travel Show, for this Tuesday, and we're glad to have you with us. And tonight we talk about the art of animation. As always, travel professionals and Disney fans galore are here to talk with you about what's going on with the art of animation, and invite everybody to come on board now, and let's talk about what's going on in one of our favorite places in the world, and that, of course, is Walt Disney World, the Disney Cruise Line, Anaheim, Euro Disney, whatever. All those places we're going to talk about tonight, particularly art of animation. We do have some other information for you, breaking news this afternoon, if you will. But first off, before we get going, not everybody's here yet, so we'll meet who is here, which I guess is me and Kristen for the moment. Kristen, what's up? Tell me about you.
I'm Kristen, travel agent with Magical Journeys, and I am the owner-operator of Cooking with Mickey, blog about Disney food, my favorite thing.
And I will tell you this, I know some things about Kristen that she's not ready to tell yet that are going to really, really excite people very soon, correct? Are you ready to tell us kind of when you're going to make your big announcement on your new project?
Maybe October, maybe November.
Okay, well, I will tell you this.
I'm waiting. Maybe when we make when our announcement that we're about to tell people about, maybe the same day that happens, I'll do mine too.
That would be cool. Yeah, we've got a big announcement we're going to make later on in the fall. Okay. Now, let me tell you this: if you are watching this program via Google Hangouts from the Hangouts page, you may want to go to our website and watch it there. There's a link there. You can watch it. It's wdwtravelshow.com. Go to the live page, because there you can watch it, and there's also a chat room. And when Chat Master Aljan gets here, we'll put him on the chat room, and he can take care of all of reading all of the tweets or the chats and things that are coming in, and we can communicate with you. So, but we have a big announcement we're going to tell you about in a couple of weeks, or it's going to be a little longer than that, probably about a month and a half. I think you'll like that. Now, also next week, next Monday, this is our first real show. We did a show last week, kind of an experimental thing, try to work the bugs out, and we had a few, but things I think are a little better now. Next week will be the first real, or the second real show, and that's going to be on the Food and Wine Festival. That's a big day, August 13th, because August 14th, what happens, Kristen?
Everybody can start booking their events.
So everybody, you want to join in on Tuesday or Monday of next week, 9 o'clock MKT, Magic Kingdom time. That's 8 o'clock where we are, and we'll do that. And then I think probably we'll know something more next week. We'll probably be off the following week because most of my co-hosts are going to be at Disney World, and unless we just get on here and talk amongst ourselves, I'm not sure. We may get a whole group of people and just talk about stuff that day. All right, big news coming out of the world of Disney today for those of you who like to go to Disney World, and that is the Fantasyland expansion grand opening. The date's announced this afternoon. I believe December 6th is right now. Part of that's been open, hasn't it been?
Yeah, they have opened the section with the circus.
Okay.
So you have Dumbo and Barnstormers, and then the little circus water area. I can't remember what they called that.
Okay, well, anyway, the whole thing's going to be wide open for you starting in December. I'm sure there are people right now who are ready to start looking or start changing some trips around to get down there for that. And then we've got, of course, our topic tonight, big changes happening or big things happening with the Art of Animation Resort coming up in September as they finish up everything going on there. So I guess while we wait for the rest of our co-host, you and I'll just let it go. How's that sound?
Works for me.
All right, like I said, if you're watching on Google Hangouts, and I know we do have some people there, and you really want to get involved and ask questions, the easiest way to do is go to our website, WDW Travel Show, and go to the live page, and you can do that. All right, we're talking tonight about the Art of Animation Resort, which is the brand new resort that's opening up that is open now at Walt Disney World, or at least part of it is. Now, Kristen's been there. We've got a lot of pictures to show you tonight. We're going to talk about it from not only a logistics standpoint of the property, but we'll talk about food, and we'll talk about cost and that sort of thing. For those of you kind of getting familiar with it, in fact, I even had after we posted something today on Google Plus, I had someone drop me an email and said they might want to change their reservation to it because they were very interested in it. It's located next to Pop Century. What happened was Pop Century was supposed to be much bigger, and then when 9/11 hit, the tourism dropped so much they decided not to do that. So this is the first new resort at Disney in 7 years. They decided not to expand Pop Century. They would go ahead and build this Art of Animation resort, base it on animated features at Disney World. It is one of the value resorts, so it's one of the cheaper hotels you can stay in, one of the 5, and family suites are now open, and the standard rooms will finish opening in September. Now, let me get this next one here, because we also wanted to tell you, if you're not that familiar with it, now you'll see a lot of pictures that will tell you about this. The hotel is designed with the families in mind. Again, the emphasis on the suites, and it's featured 4 of the animated features: Cars, Finding Nemo, The Lion King, and The Little Mermaid. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I did grab this today to give you an idea of what the family suite looks like, because it is a little bit, it's a lot more room to it than you're going to have in your typical hotel room. You've got a separate bedroom, you've got a little dining area, you've got a pull-out area, 2 full baths, and it's a really nice layout for for people who maybe have, I don't know, I guess 5, 6 people maybe that can stay in that comfortably, Kirsten.
Yeah, they've set it up for 5 or 6 people, which I think is great, because prior to this there wasn't much choice if you had 5 or 6 people.
And the thing is, it's going to, when you average out the price, if you look at the value resort prices and look at what it would take if you had 2 rooms, it's probably at least comparably priced to having 2 rooms, maybe a little bit on the low side of having 2 rooms. Plus, you get the value of having 2 bathrooms in one area. If you've got 3 or 4 kids, you want to keep an eye on them, and you've got the little dining area and all. Does it have? And I'm honestly not that familiar with this. Does it have any kind of a kitchen facility or like a refrigerator type area in it?
It does. It's not going to be the same as with one of the villas, but it does have an area for you to be able to do things like make basic food and things like that.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to say before we go too far into this, how was Sugar Ray last night? Because we moved the show from last night to tonight, so you could see Sugar Ray for how many times now have you seen Sugar Ray?
That's number 3.
Oh, it's 3. Okay.
3.
All right, they were good. Or he.
Oh, they're always good. I mean, it was the Summerland tour, so it was a whole bunch of '90s bands. You had Everclear, Sugar Ray, Lit, Marcy's Playground, and Gin Blossoms. First time seeing Gin Blossoms, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
I forgot how many hits they had until seeing the show last night.
Okay, I think I knew 3 of those. So I know Everclear, I know Sugar Ray, and I know the Gin Blossoms. I don't know about those others. All right, let's get into this thing, and we'll talk about the Art of Animation Resort. It is now open. They're now taking bookings. By the way, my name's Eddie Owen. I blog about cruises. I've also been going to Disney World since most of you weren't born. I think I made my first trip there in 1972. In fact, I stayed at the Contemporary Resort in 1973. It was $30 a night. Okay, so that'll tell you about me. I cruise about blogs. I also do some travel with Expedia Cruise Ship Centers and a whole lot more. So you can find information about us on the website if you're interested in talking to us. Now, Kristen goes to Disney World very frequently. You were down there a couple of months ago, and you got to go over and tour Art of Animation. What was your and you tell me when you want pictures, because we've got a lot of pictures that you took, but tell me what your initial response or initial thoughts were on it.
I was looking forward to it because it has been a while since Disney opened a new resort, and it's always exciting to see something you haven't before. And being that it was going to be the first value resorts set up with suites. I mean, they changed, you know, All-Star Music to have suites, but it wasn't intended to have them. So I figure it's going to be quite interesting to see really what they did with this resort. And anybody who has stayed at Pop Century, you can see and have seen for years these empty buildings just sitting there. So I was quite excited to check it out and was very impressed with what they did.
Now, when you were there, they had the suites open. Now, they're scheduled, as I understand it, in about a month to open the rest of the hotel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, are you getting much feedback from people wanting to go and stay at the hotel? I mean, I hear, of course, most of us, if you're watching this, most of you are involved in what I'll call the online Disney community. I mean, there's a very narrow focus of people on the internet who are Disney geeks, as we call them, and this is all I've heard for probably 6 or 8 months. Are you getting that feedback from people?
I've had a few people interested in it, but I don't think, except for those that go to Disney, really know about it. You know, first-time vacationers or people that travel every now and then to Disney haven't heard the hype that we've all heard of the resort. So right now I've been recommending it to families of 5 who are considering, 5 or 6 that are considering doing 2 rooms, because it does give them the space that they need, and it does end up being slightly less than buying 2 rooms. And everybody gets to be together. You're in a new resort. The amenities are great. So right now that's pretty much what I have looking at it, are families of 5 that can't afford a villa.
Well, and also you're going to like the value resorts. They're almost oversized in their decorations. Like if you walk around and they have those huge, statues and all kinds of different things. So it's almost like going into a cartoon, or an animated feature. Going there, we'll see that as we take a look at the pictures. But you're right in that the suite, as I looked at it. In fact, I'm going to pull up that picture again and show it to you. You can see in the suite, you've got, if you look there in the upper left-hand corner, you've got a full bath up there. You have a full bath in the it's in the upper right-hand corner. It's reversed on my screen. Upper right-hand corner, you have a full bath. You have another one in the lower right-hand corner. You have, as I said, the kitchen area, which appears to be the little seating area right in the middle there on the right, and then you have a full a full bedroom on the right, the left lower-hand corner, and in the upper part there is your sitting area. You can make a bed from that. You've got multiple TVs. Like you said, you can put 5 or 6, or if you're really, I think that's probably about all you're supposed to put, but if you're really, really rambunctious or innovative, I mean, you could have a whole fraternity house probably staying there by the time, this was done. So I think it's a good fit, particularly with the suites. Now, what other hotels have family suites at this point? There are a few, aren't there?
The only other option for a family suite that is not a villa is going to be All-Star Music.
Okay. All right.
And of course, those are the best way I get us to put that is they're aftermarket family suites. They weren't intended to be set up as family suites, but Disney knocked out a couple walls here and that kind of thing to make them suites.
Okay, so this is the first hotel designed to put these suites in play from the beginning, designed to be suites, and you can take advantage of them. All right, I think what we'll do now, Kristen, I'm going to pull up the slides that we have, some of the slides. We'll start with pictures of the property, and you can kind of walk us through. Give me a little feedback as I'm doing this about your experience going over there, because I know you said you really wanted to go over there and see what was going on, and we'll get the pictures up and we can talk about them.
Okay.
Okay, so you go in, of course, every place has, at Disney has the over-the-top sign. You know, this kind of reminds me of I like late 50s, early 60s TV.
I can see that, yeah.
You know, so I guess that's the opening as you go in. Now, what do we have here?
As you walk into the door where you have, you know, the main entrance into the lobby, that's what you're going to see along the wall. Okay. They've got all kinds of animated sketches from the different Pixar movies.
You know, it almost looks, the way they've designed it, it almost looks like they are just pieces of paper hanging up there, like the artists have tacked them up there, you know, for to look at and all that. But folks, you can't take them with you, so don't do that. I want to remind people that are in the Google chat or the Google G+ Google Hangouts window. If you want to communicate with us, you can go to our website, wdwtravelshow.com. One of our other hosts will be in here in a little bit, and we'll catch up on that because we're running a little short on personnel right this moment.
I do have the chat open.
Okay, good.
So I can see what's going on in there.
All right. Now, what if this looks like a registration area?
It is. That is actually opposite the wall that was just shown with the animation. So that's where everybody checks in. As you can see, the counter looks like little paint cans.
Okay, I didn't notice that.
I thought that was beautiful. It doesn't photograph as amazing as it looks. It just, there's too much light coming in from the back that I just couldn't get the right shot of that. But yeah, all the different colors as you go down, you know, rainbow color coordinated there. Really, really pretty.
All righty, we go on the tour, and of course all the resorts have caricature artists. I assume that's what this fellow's doing.
Yes, if you are facing the check-in, to the left side you'll see an animator sitting there drawing different Disney characters. So he's going to be more like what you would see, say, over at Hollywood Studios in the Art of Animation, the shop that's there as you exit that attraction. They've got an artist there drawing different characters and things like that, as well as over in Downtown Disney. Same kind of thing there, except you can sit there and there's a projector behind him, so as he's drawing, you can sit there and watch him draw his Disney masterpiece. You
know, that's kind of cool because most of the time you end up looking over these guys' shoulders, you know, to see what they're doing or what it looks like. And so that's nice that they project it up on the wall for you. Now, what is this? I saw this, and this looks like almost like cells on the wall.
It does. There are pictures that are lit up to look like cells, but it's right as you can see the woman standing there, she is getting ready to walk into the gift shop. So if you've been to, you know, Pop Century or any of the others, this has the same layout when it comes to check-in and everything like that. So that's going to be the wall right as you're going to walk into the gift shop.
Now, folks, we are talking about the Art of Animation Hotel at Walt Disney World. It's partially open right now. The suites are now open. I believe it's September, it's around the middle of September, September 12th or something like that. The rest of it will open. For those of you considering a trip to Walt Disney World, this is a value hotel. It's one of the 5 value hotels, which means, in essence, it is one of the cheapest rooms that you will find on property. So if you are going, if you've gone and stayed, you have a feel for this. If you're going and staying for the first time and want something that's, you know, a value, this is a way to do it. Or if you've never been, this is the kind of quality you get in the value resorts at when you do a trip to Walt Disney World. Now, I did put the pictures of the restaurants in with the property pictures, and we'll look at food later, but I assume this is, the colors in this place are just, I don't even know how to describe them. You know, you've got all this lime green and pink and yellow. It's pretty wild.
I liked in Landscape of Flavors, every section is themed. So right there, what you're viewing, and everything is very, like you said, it's blues and greens and yellows, very cool, welcoming tones. But each of them, as you can tell, this one's the section for the Lion King. There are paintings along the wall that depict different parts of the movie, and not necessarily pictures of the movie, but they have that like the whole Lion King feel to it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's one of, and that's you said, what was the name of that restaurant?
Landscape of Flavor.
Okay, and then this is another view of it, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That is the actual food court area. Very, very open, as you can see. A lot of room to move around to get to the different stations. And it was not busy at all when I was there, as you can tell. There's hardly anybody in the food court area.
If you were going to compare it to maybe a food court at one of the other hotels, is there any that it kind of reminds you of? Any of them that stand out?
Wow.
I know there's not a whole lot of difference
Yeah.
in any of them, but I just wondered if, you know.
As far as maybe the food quality and the uniqueness of options, I would say Pepper Market.
I see, and that's my favorite. You and I've talked about that before. I love going to Coronado Springs and going there, and you know, there's so much good food there. So, all right, there's your. Now we're outside, and a little bit of Nemo flavor.
A lot of Nemo flavor there. Of course, that's just an up-close look at the at the building. As you can tell, since this is the suites, the hallways are on the inside instead of on the outside like at the other value resorts. The family suites are the exception. The Little Mermaid, which is yet to be completed, will have the same look as Pop Century and the All-Star resorts do.
And this is one of the wonders of Disney and what they can do. They have taken a plain, what I will call a block hotel. I'm sure it's some kind of a cement of some type. But they have taken this, and just with the use of a little bit of color and a little bit of animation, they've given it a life of its own. I'm going to go back to that previous picture. And you can see, you know, it's got all of that feel to it and texture to it and all, and yet it's just a very plain building, and they've taken their product and applied it to it and made it unique. So one of the things that makes it stand out. All right, now I guess one of the walking areas.
Yes, that's one of the walking areas. As you can see, and the reason I included this is I found something to be very unique to this resort that you wouldn't think of, because you don't see it so much at the other values, but they went that little extra mile. And if you look at the plants that you see in the area, in every section of this resort that we walked in, the plants are so themed to the area. You're walking through and you can tell, well, this is supposed to look like, you know, a sea urchin, or this particular thing looks like, you know, tumbleweed brush. Different things like that I thought were very, very detailed. Mm-hmm. That being a value, you might think Disney might you know, skimp on a little bit, but they definitely didn't with this.
By the way, folks, if you like these pictures, they will be on the website a little bit later on in the evening once we get the page up with everything on it, including the replay video. So if you like the pictures and want to take a look at them a little bit later on, you can do that. Okay, now what is this?
That is one of the entrances into the Cars building.
Okay.
Of course, you have multiple buildings, but this is the Wheel-Well Hotel, which if you've seen Cars, you're familiar with that in the movie. And as you can see, it looks like it. You don't really even notice the fact that there is a door there to enter in the building.
And again, a very plain building, but with a little facade of the Wheel-Well and with a lot of color and design on it. They've really modified a building, you know, again, the Disney magic, to make it stand out and be, you know, part of its own. And as my dad would say, a Quonset hut, I believe.
And again, it's just more things keeping with that theming. I'm not exactly sure what the building is there, mm-hmm. but I thought, you know, say it could be storage for all we know, but it doesn't stand out and say nothing. It fits with the whole area there.
When you were there, the resort had been open, I'm thinking maybe a couple of months. Is that about right?
Let's see. It opened, what, May 30th?
I think it was in May.
So almost 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. So you were there. Yeah, that's right. You were there in June. Okay. All right. What do we have here?
This is the pool area, and I like with this, they did the whole little cozy cones from the movie. And inside, as you can see, it kind of has that cabana feel to it with you're covered from the sun with a table and some chairs inside so you can lounge without, you know, say you're a little self-conscious about sitting out by the pool. You know, you don't really like the way you look in your swimsuit, but the kids want to be in the pool, so you can hide inside one of these little cones and let the kids play and keep an eye on them without feeling like everybody's staring at you.
Now, they are a cabana feel, but they aren't a cabana. You don't have to rent them, do you?
No, 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 no.
Okay, they're just a part of the decorations.
Yeah, it's just first come, first served. Grab it if you can.
More cars?
More cars. Another area leading into the resort.
Okay. I love the little cars they've got there.
And see, with that entire building, you can see that you don't really even notice the door is there. Everything just is set so perfectly. It's not like any other of the value resorts. Yeah,
because normally, you know, there's these big, I don't want to say ugly, aluminum door frames and all, and you know, but you're right, these are suppressed and hidden. And I read an article the other day, and I wish I had kept the link to it, about Disney's how they hide doors, you know, particularly in the theme parks. How you'll be walking along and there are doors and you don't even notice them by the way they do, you know, architecture and all that. But you're right, these are kind of, you know, they're using light and color and kind of covering them a little bit. And putting them out.
This building here is right off of the pool. The pool is gated, so you need a key to enter the pool area. But this building sits on the outside of that, so you would have to have a key to get into this little building because it houses the bathrooms and things like that that lead into and connect to that whole pool area. Oh. Which is the first I've seen of a value resort to have a key to get into the pool.
All right.
Just more cars.
I love this. I love the I guess fries and the fish. That's so cute.
The little the kiddie area.
It's probably not fries. I think it's under the sea, but it looks like French fries to me. You know.
It does. It looks like McDonald's French fries.
Exactly.
You got the little red carton with the fries sticking out.
Exactly. And that's what I first thought of. And I said, I know it's probably not French fries, but it's going to be French fries to me from this point forward.
And that is just one of the big, as you were talking about before, having these huge, you know, statues and things at the resort. That's just one of them. You have Crush there with Dory.
And, you know, folks, if you haven't been and you haven't walked out, you'll walk out and you know, there'll be a 25-foot, you know, puppy standing there looking at you. And not at this resort, but in some of the value resorts. More pool. It's a big area.
This is opposite of what you just saw.
Okay.
The other is the little kiddie area, so it's got water that shoots up from the ground. And don't think your kids are just going to get sprinkled on with that. They will get soaked. As I had mentioned before, I was there with Natalie and her son, who's 6. And as we were walking through, checking things out, she told him, don't get wet. Does the 6-year-old listen? No. So he had to walk around in his clothes completely soaked for the day because he ran through there and it shoots up big spouts of water.
I love the concept of telling a 6-year-old, don't get wet. Okay.
Oh, yeah. With these, what you can't tell with that one picture is with those jellyfish, down from that is water that sprays.
Okay.
So you can get misted on and things like that.
Now, this is a different restaurant. Looks a little bit more, I don't want to say upscale because I don't think any of it's upscale, but it looks a little different.
This is actually the same restaurant. This is a different seating area, and this is the cars themed section of it.
Do they have? Is it like several of the values where they have one dining area? area where you can get different things, and there's not a sit-down restaurant or anything here, correct?
No, there is not.
Okay. I want to make sure there. All right.
In the lobby, instead of having a park hours guide that is posted up and they have, the little magnets to change it each day, this one is a digital board. And I like it. It's easy to see, it's bright, it's colorful, and it catches your attention when you walk by.
Okay.
These are just more signs and things from the area, just showing how much Disney went into putting in the time and effort to really keep the theming of this resort. I was just completely fascinated by that. And
for those of us who have a little more age on us, Route 66 has a little more meaning because it was a big deal. It was a TV show, and so the old I think it was in the late 50s, which kind of goes along with the time frame here. I love this sign.
It rotates too.
Does it really? Okay.
Yeah. This just shows you more of the elaborate, design that this especially for a value resort, has.
And again, folks, it's over there next to Pop Century, and I was wondering what is this? This is by the pool. Is this a surfboard or what is this?
Have you seen the movie Finding Nemo?
I have not. I've never seen that movie.
Okay. In the movie, inside the tank is P. Sherman. So if you've seen the movie, you get it.
Okay.
It's a reference to part of the movie. But I thought.
Well, I've lost all Disney credibility now anyway by saying I'd never seen Captain Nemo's, or not Captain, Finding Nemo. So, I'm not even going to worry about that. Folks, you're in tune to the WDW Travel Show starting next week, every Monday night, 9 o'clock MKT, Magic Kingdom time. That's 8 o'clock on the Central, and you can figure it out if you're out west. All the shows are archived at wdwtravelshow.com, as well as all the pictures and any information we find that we think you might want to know. We will include that as well. We were talking earlier, this is one of the values. I think we were talking that maybe a two-bedroom is now going for about $249, $250. Is that ring a bell?
To purchase, you mean?
To rent a room.
Oh, for the value? How much is the room? I actually pulled it up just to kind of give people an idea of the price differences and where this category kind of falls in that sense.
Speaking of category, there's a category behind you.
Oh, that would be Leopold.
Well, I just ran one of mine out, so don't worry about it.
I just realized you can't see Mickey behind me.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I thought I placed Mickey so you could see him, but apparently my head's covering Mickey.
We'll have to move that later on. All right, let's go back to the rates.
Art of Animation. I priced this for the second week of October. For a weeknight, it will be $265, and then weekend rate is $295. And of course, this is with no discounts, just rack room rate. As far as a moderate, if you were to book just a standard room at a moderate, that would run $174 and $189 on the weekend. So this is going to cost more than a moderate, but it's less than a deluxe. If you were staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge in a standard room, it would be $330 and $355. Mm-hmm. So it kind of falls in between the price of the least expensive deluxe resort and the price of a moderate.
Okay. Well, and again, if you've not stayed in a, I think I've stayed in all of the values, and the only one I never was all that thrilled about was the All-Star Sports, and it was like to me sleeping in a locker room, and I just wasn't excited about it. And I've loved the others, I've stayed in.
Yeah.
And if you've not stayed in one, and let's face it, over the years, for many years, my favorite was the Polynesian. Love to stay at the Polynesian. Well, now it's just, it's not in the old budget to stay at the Polynesian if you go very often. when you're looking at the kind of rates, I'd stay there every time if I can get those kind of rates. But if you're looking at staying on property and you're going to spend $100 to $30, $40 a night, these are great rooms, especially when you have to take into consideration what you get as far as not having to move the car and all of the perks you get for Disney property or staying on Disney property without my Elvis is up here with me that you get without having to pay for it. We're going to remove Elvis's tail. So.
Aww.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Say hi, Elvis, and say bye, Elvis. So okay. Probably be back in a minute. So if you're looking to go, you might want to do that. Let's take a look. I'm going to pull up these food pictures. We've got a few pictures of some food that you took. You being the ultimate foodie that you be, why don't you tell us what some of this is?
That would be from the dessert station. They have gelato. And as far as I know, I have not seen that. I know it's not available at any of the other value resorts, but I have seen it at very few food courts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
One unique thing about Landscape of Flavor is they have so many create-your-own stations. One of them is the create-your-own salad, and that is just some of the toppings that you can get. As you can see, you've got sausage, shrimp, bacon, onion, peas, carrots, fried chickpeas, which are really good, but a lot of variety to choose from, and it's just one rate. It's not like you're paying for, it's not like a pizza where it's like, okay, you can get 3 toppings and each an additional one is going to be 50 cents. It's whatever you want to put on your salad. All
righty. As always, we talk about this stuff, I get hungry, and I see what looks to me baked or some mashed potatoes, which always gets me excited.
It's actually not mashed potatoes.
I can't get anything right. Go ahead. What is it?
This is one of the items from the tandoori oven. They've done the new, they've got, I believe it's 2 tandoori ovens, so they've got Indian cuisine that you can order. And the one thing there is the naan, the bread that they cook on the side of the pot.
Okay. All right, now we've got, what's this?
Back to the whole create your own station. They have where you can create your own burger in addition to several unique specialty burgers. That one right there is the surf and turf. So you've got your hamburger topped with fried shrimp.
Okay. Good old American sandwich.
This is one of the things that I had. This is the caprese sandwich. It's got arugula salad, balsamic vinegar, pesto, tomato, and mozzarella cheese. I love fresh mozzarella.
Wow.
And that is the salad that Natalie and I created. So as you can see, it's a good size salad. It's not like a little side salad and you can pile it, as you can tell, with plenty of ingredients. If you ask for more, they're going to throw more of whatever it is you want on there.
Okay. I figured there was a reason you gave me pictures of ovens.
I did, because a lot of times when you're staying at a value resort, many people are on a budget, which is why you're choosing to stay at, say, a value resort. Well, often you're going to bring things from home because you have little ones and kids can be picky, or you might decide you want microwave in your room at night. Or you want microwaved popcorn in your room at night and you don't have a microwave. That's what I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. So there's abundance. They're all stacked up in 4s. Usually you'll see one side by side and only a few of them at the value resorts, but here there are several stations with 4 of the microwaves there. So you have several to choose from, so you don't have to worry about waiting for one if you want to make some popcorn, or you bring, one of those like steamer meals or something from the frozen food section of your grocery store, or if you order it from Garden Grocer, you can just pop those things in a microwave. They have plenty of them there for you.
And by the way, as I go to the last slide, I did call 911. There's a suspicious character wandering around your house, waving in the camera. And I know that I think I know the reason why you included this picture. You want to tell us what's important about this?
It is the only value resort with silverware instead of plastic.
Right. And that's a big deal, folks. It really is.
Yeah, it seems silly, and I figured that, to the people who were watching me take a picture of silverware, they were probably curious to why I was taking a picture of it. But yeah, you can't get silverware at any other value.
Okay, and it's only at the Art of Animation Resort, folks. It is now, I don't know the breakdown on the rooms number-wise as far as the suites compared to the regular rooms.
I actually have that.
That's why we have you around.
And I did want to mention that on August 10th, the Lion King rooms will open, and it's September 15th that the Little Mermaid opens.
Okay.
As far as the number of rooms, they have 1,120 suites and 864 standard rooms.
Okay. So it's probably about half open now, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, because you have two of the buildings open, Cars and Finding Nemo.
Okay. So it's the Art of Animation Resort, folks, again, over by Pop Century. In fact, it's on land that was supposed to have been Pop Century. And there he is, young Aljan. How are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Well, you're doing well. Glad to see you came in and joined us.
Sorry.
That's all right. Some people have to work for a living, right?
Traffic was bad where I was.
Aljan Go, of course. Aljan, I think people know who you are, and they can find out more on the website. But you're the Jedi Mickey guy and Sorcerer Radio, and what else?
Oh, that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. All right.
JediMouseketeer.com, Sorcerer Radio, Tiki Room Morning Show, everything.
Okay. And
WDW Tiki Room podcast.
I'm not sure what that was all about there. Anyway, we were talking about the Art of Animation Resort, the opening up next month.
Frozen.
Yeah, I think he had a little problem there, but it'll finish opening up next month. You can make your reservations now. Like I said, I had some people earlier today tell me they were thinking about changing. I believe or going to try to change some Christmas reservations for it. If you've stayed at a value resort, Chris and I haven't been to this one yet, and you're not going to be disappointed. Okay. Well, we seem to be having some technical issues there on the other end, folks.
Is it my fault?
I don't know. Are you back, though? You're talking now.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think our internet went out for a second, I think is what happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we were worried here this afternoon because our internet was out, and, I didn't know if we were going to get it back in time or not, but we did. Now, you guys are going down shortly. Where are you going to be staying?
Pop Century. We always stay at Pop Century.
Okay.
At least until the Little Mermaid is open.
Okay.
Yes. We're biding our time and saving our bucks, our Disney bucks.
Well, it won't be too long then. So.
Well, and the reason, a lot of times people ask why why do you stay at Pop Century or why do I stay at a value? And a lot of it has to do with I really enjoy the dining, and so I spend most of my time in the park. If I was spending most of the time in a resort, I would be staying at Coronado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
But I spend an awful lot of time inside the parks, and so I'd rather give up the resort so I can eat wherever I want than have to cut on my food budget and maybe only eat at quick service places.
Here's a question for you, because when you stay at Pop Century, do you pay the extra upgrade so that you're not in the next county, or do you stay in the standard room?
I stay in the standard room. Over at Pop Century, I've had that 70s building, which is located right to the side of the main building, which is no farther away than people who are paying to stay in the 60s.
Because it's like $30 more, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I just wondered.
And I don't mind. I'm already going to be walking while I'm there. So what's a few more steps?
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially, if you take that, if you're going to stay 4 or 5 days, that's $150, $60, $70. And if you're making that trip maybe 2 or 3 times a day for that extra 150, 200 feet, so why spend that? So, Aljon, we were talking about next week we're going to be doing the Food and Wine Festival, one of our favorite times to go.
Absolutely, one of my favorite times for sure.
And everything goes on sale to the general public on Tuesday of next week. Kristen, who can get in right now, or who can make reservations now?
On the 10th, annual pass holders will be able to make reservations. Okay.
And we're trying to coordinate, if you watch this, folks, and are going to be down there, we're trying to coordinate a time when we'll all be there. Maybe we can meet up with you and talk about things. But we are looking for topics for, we'll be doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween before long. Probably do a couple of shows on food and wine before it's over with. I think we all, when I went back and looked at our schedule, we had one scheduled later on as well as the one next week. So if you have an idea on a show you'd like to see, or if you have questions, or you'd like to be a part of this, we'd love to have you. We're going to have some shows where we just bring people on and we just talk about things. It's just a wide open forum, and if you'd like to be a part of that, we'd love to hear from you. There's several different places. We'll have some more links on the website this week where you can contact us, but we're going to do a special on cruises before too long, and then, as we said, Kristen and I, by the way, Aljon, while you were gone, Kristen and I decided we're going to have a special show where we make 2 special announcements. I'm going to have one, she's going to have one, so now you've got to have one as well. So you need to come up with something, okay?
Okay, sure. I'll come up with something special.
By the way, you've got some kind of contest going on one of your websites. I saw you. Is that something you want to mention here?
Actually, we do. We actually have 2 different contests that are going to be going on simultaneously. One of them is at JediMouseketeer.com, where people can sign up and win a art print by Disney fine artist and Lucasfilm fine artist Brian Rood, a gentleman that we had met at the D23 Expo last year, and it is absolutely amazing. It's a print of The Empire Strikes Back. And you may know Brian Rood's art, as he's developed a lot of art for Lucasfilm and different motion pictures and Disney, and you can buy his artwork at at D Street. And this is a photorealistic print. It's like 20 by 30. It's huge, and it's a limited edition print that celebrates The Empire Strikes Back versus Last Celebration, where all the Star Wars fans get together. And we are giving away a limited print.
And that one's at JediMouseketeer.com, right?
That's correct. I believe right now there are nearly 4,000 entries, so far. A lot of people have entered, and all you have to do is like some of our pages, and it's very simple. So that is one. The other contest that we'll be launching toward the end of the week is going to be at WDW.com. And it is going to be a very special mouse ear set and limited edition newspaper from Carsland that we're going to be giving away, and that is from our friends at CityStroller.com. And Joel put together this really cool package of special things, including some other things, secret stash items that Disney aficionados will absolutely love. City Stroller is a great company, as they provide great strollers for parents just to run their kids around in. And these mouse ears are really, really cool. And, of course, you get the paper there from Buena Vista Street, which is also very nice as well. So we're going to have that contest coming up later on the show, on the podcast coming up.
Okay, and that one's on Tiki Room, so you can get information there.
Yep, www.tikiroom.com, and it's going to be on Sorcerer Radio, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities for people to sign up and win for the remainder of the month. So it's our contest. It's really cool stuff.
And by the way, go to our bio pages. You can find a lot of neat things that are going on. That Kristen is doing some writing. She's doing a lot of writing. She's a Disney examiner. You can find out where to reach her information. and subscribe to her articles. I write about the cruise industry and also budget travel. Check out Aljon's site and many, many others. But let us hear from you. Let us know what you think. Give us ideas for the show. Give us feedback. What you'd like to see down the road, particularly in the show venue, of what you'd like to hear us talk about. And hopefully next week, well, not hopefully, but next week on Monday night, we will start our regular shows weekly. Monday night, 9 o'clock MKT, Magic Kingdom time, we will be talking about Food and Wine Festival, and you'll find out a lot more about that and what to expect and all of that. So, gang, do you have anything else you want to add tonight?
Sorry, I wasn't here earlier.
You know what? We muddled through just without you, and Kristen grabbed the chat room, and we just took off, and it worked out fine. I'm sorry you weren't here too. But,
yeah, well, I definitely looking forward to the Art of Animation Resort and staying there. From all accounts, it's beautiful, and I look forward to eating. I look forward to eating there. It's just from every account I've seen and heard from Kristen and many others, it's just the place to go. So I can't wait. So definitely looking forward to checking that out.
I'm looking forward to eating there, but it's as far as the buffets or the food courts go, it's going to be hard to beat Pepper Market for me. So that's my favorite of all of those. And do they have Mickey waffles? That's the number one thing.
Exactly.
If they
Are
have
you
Mickey
allowed to be a restaurant and not have Mickey waffles?
Come on,
I'm just asking.
It's the staple. It's there are certain foods that are considered iconic foods, which you know what? That's another topic, I'm sure, for another day.
Yeah, we'll
Mickey
get into
waffles
that.
is at the top of that list, part of that top list. So.
Well, folks, we appreciate you listening or joining in and watching tonight. And again, this show, if you're watching live, will be archived on YouTube. We will have it on our website, WDWTravelShow.com. In just a little while, all of the pictures you saw tonight will also be on there, and any other information we need to put on there will be available. We'll see you next week. Again, if you'd like to get involved, if you have information, just drop us a note. You can do that from the website, and let us know exactly what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see, and what you think we really ought to be doing. Again, we're going to get, as we go down the road, we're going to hit a lot of the stuff a lot of you already know about. We're going to really hit the cruise stuff and a lot of things that we haven't even thought about yet. So, Aljon, good to see you. Kristen, good to see you.
Good to see you, Ed.
And,
absolutely.
And we will see you next Monday night as we go into Food and Wine. That'll be at 9 o'clock MKT, Magic Kingdom time. Have a great night, everybody.